Well, good morning. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. A good mental health day. How's that? And hopefully you don't have to go to the Kingdom Hall today. There we go, June 4th. We're going to get it. Keep your faith in all beautiful things. In the sun when it is hidden. In the spring when it is gone. Roy R. Gilson. Everything ends. Each day ends for us while it is just starting for someone else. Yesterday, we challenged ourselves to get a grip on our own finitude. You won't live forever. Nor will the people we love. We humans have the capacity to imagine days, years, or centuries into the future. We can imagine a cure for a disease, and we might even fantasize about how we can contribute to that cure. But we also know we die, no matter how many cures we find. Not accepting limitations is a cornerstone of insanity. What we refuse to accept can kill us. Alcoholics accept that they can never again drink socially. Codependency that they have become addicted to the drama of their addicts. Lacking control of our own addictions or someone else's can seem intolerable, and we can become irrational and dangerous if we refuse to come to terms with our limits. Today's quote infers that if it was always sunny and always spring, there would be no beauty. The philosophy, enjoy it while it lasts, is a celebration of finitude. We would take fair weather for granted if it lasted forever. Yesterday we talked about the terror of death. Is life futile because life is finite? Au contraire. The shortness and unpredictability of life are what make it priceless. The universe that created us may be different to us and our welfare. Meaning in life is created, not discovered. The length of life is finite, but the depth with which we engage each moment is endless. How deeply we enjoy life is within our influence. With sober thought, we resign ourselves to the knowledge that fear of death will never be conquered. Rather, we own up to our fears. We take note of how our base fears impact our policies, beliefs, and reflexes each time life pokes us in our bellies. We take responsibility. If we don't enjoy our lives while they last, who will? If I was to live forever, would that increase or diminish the meaning of life? If I could see it all and do it all, would anything matter? Limits and finitude are not enemies to spirituality or happiness. Facing life on life's terms, does that limit me or free me? Oh, very, very good. I hope I'm saying finitude properly. I didn't look that up. I don't look this up like I like to read it with you because then the feelings come up more, and I'm not like sitting in it and then thinking, oh, I shouldn't share that. I'll just say what I want to say, and then you can digest it accordingly. These are my feelings, right? You have yours. As one of Jehovah's Witnesses, when I was, right, we were always taught to think of the future as, infinite. We had an infinite future we had to look forward to. We could live forever in paradise. And I liked that thought. That was one thought that I had a hard time giving up, because I thought I would live forever, right? And we would grow young, and we would enjoy people that we lost so fast in our lives that we could come back to. So it was really hard for me when it says lack of control of our own addictions or someone else's can seem intolerable, and we can become irrational and dangerous if we refuse to come to terms with our limits. And limitations, right? Limitations is a cornerstone of insanity. Not accepting limitations is a cornerstone of insanity. And the limitation of me knowing that I was going to die and that I didn't have a choice in that, it affected me. I mean, the thought of not living forever affected me, and the thought of living forever affected me. So I think that you can go insane in both ways of thinking, because I feel like, you know, my mind never stopped thinking about forever. And so, you know, it was hard for me to come to terms with the reality that I was actually living in. And then death scared me a lot, because death is not pretty. It's not pretty. It especially as you age. And then when you see someone dying from sickness, it's so hard to see. But, and as Jehovah's Witnesses, I had a hard time accepting that. I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses that had a hard time accepting death and the process of it, especially if I saw someone aging and as they were dying. It was hard. And I missed out on a lot of opportunities to be with the people that were dying. And because I thought, okay, well, I don't have to really pay attention because I'm going to see them again and they're going to be healthy. But that didn't allow me to process what I could have processed, which was my feelings as they were dying. You know, come to terms with age. You know, that is the circle of life, right? We see people age. Regardless of whether you want to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses and think that the future, you know, holds something different, you see people aging. So those people, I mean, people that want to be Jehovah's Witnesses, they see their leaders aging and dying, and they will die here. So whatever unreality or whatever, I wouldn't say, imagination you have about what the future holds, that's what you have. My imagination took me in a different direction. So, I mean, that can make you crazy. So it's to be in the present has really helped me, right? With sober thought, we resign ourselves to the knowledge that fear of death will never be conquered. Done, right? We never know what's going to happen. You can tell someone who's a believer, oh, well, this is what we see happens. And they say, oh, but we don't see, we don't really know what happens after death. And so, you know, Jehovah has an infinite memory. That can make you nuts. I think that just makes it harder. It made it harder for me, because why would he allow it anyway? I don't get it. And death is not pretty, and old age is not pretty, and suffering is not pretty. So why would he allow it? It doesn't make sense. And as a parent, you know, I remember being Jehovah compared to a parent. So why would a parent let a child suffer? Never. I would never let my child suffer. If I knew that they were suffering, I would help them. And I wouldn't let them have to go through a certain point and then die. So just so that they know that I actually existed as a parent. No, that doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah, I think limits to finitude are not enemies to spirituality or happiness. I realize that I can still be a very happy person knowing that things will die, you know, I will die. It's hard to come to those terms, come to terms with that and say, oh, okay, that's the, you know, that's what's going to happen. But it is true. I look at life so much with it. Every day is just an amazing, it's amazing. I get up and I get to see things and see the beauty around me and participate in it. And I do reach out more, I think. More, I was a pretty avid Jehovah's Witness that I liked going out for field service. I liked seeing things around me, going to different homes I've never been in or around, meet people. I like to talk to people. I like to take my kids, you know, I would take my girls and we'd walk up and down the blocks and look at the butterflies and the flowers, and you know, I enjoyed those things. So yes, I got nervous when I would talk to people at the door that I didn't know, but I didn't really focus on that nervousness after a while. I just enjoyed where I was with my children. So whenever we were out and about and we could touch water, we could do things, that's what I did. I did that along with my service. So because I was a believer, I really believed that what I was doing was right. So yeah, limitations. We have limitations. And now I get to do those very same things, right? But with the realities that I'm accepting reality the way it is and being content with what I have. I would love to have more, yes. I'd love to have more experiences with my family in different experiences, I think, other than the ones that we have right now. I would like them to see life a little differently. We live in Orange County, and this is probably one of the wealthiest counties in California. You know, it's one of the wealthiest. And it doesn't look like Los Angeles. It's very, you've seen the surroundings that I've shown you through videos, and it's beautiful here. And we still see swallows, which even in Capistrano, because San Juan Capistrano is not too very far from where I live, you don't see swallows anymore in San Juan Capistrano. Very few. And the birds are, you know, the world is changing, regardless of how much we want it not to, right? And I think that's another thing. Is like when you see, in your mind, you see paradise, but you don't see what you see here. And wherever you are, it could be very different from what I see. And you see you could see more sadness, you could see more, the world, you might live in a city where you don't see as many trees or hear the birds, or, you know, there's we all live in different places. But wherever you see them, and if you appreciate those things, I think that's where, when you think of paradise, you think, well, I always thought, you know, animals and green, but I miss the opportunities that I am in right now, the present. And I did that, you know, I would wish those things, whereas not really fully experiencing them in the present moment as it was happening. So now I do. I really center myself and look at what I'm looking at. It's beautiful. You know, I really do appreciate life so much more. And I encourage you to do the same, because we just have this very small space that we get on the earth. And you don't want to miss the opportunities. And there were so many that I missed, including death, because I needed to see that. I needed to see people dying and, you know, appreciate my life more. That's something I wish was more encouraged. And when I say that, I think of my father-in-law, because he was such a good person. I knew the good person, and I knew my husband experienced different experiences, as we all do with our parents, right? Our parents our parents and we saw their good side and their bad sides. But I only saw a good person that had come to terms when it comes to my husband's father, that had come to terms with, you know, he made mistakes. That's what you do as a parent. You make mistakes, a lot of mistakes. So, because you've never been a parent before, and they don't teach you that in school, right? You have to go to school to learn to be a better parent, or you should. If you know, I know I had to do some research on how you raise children. So, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so, you know, experience death. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid. And then there's a lot of cultures that experience death differently. Sorry, I went into a tangent. I'll let you go. I hope you have a good mental health day. That's what I hope. It's Pride Month. So, and I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you ahead of time. I hope that I get an opportunity to do this every day. But this can make you crazy. And I refuse to let that happen. And I don't want to put ahead this over my children, my husband, and my experiences that I'm having. So I take you along with me, and I'm grateful that you take me along with you for the day. And I hope you have a good mental health day. I give you a big hug. Because right now, I think, especially, like I said, all my friends that listen to me, here in this country, we have a lot of division. And for my queer friends out there, I'm going to give you a big hug. Okay? Don't let life stress you out. Enjoy your life. Enjoy who you love. And this is a good month to be happy. And I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to share this with you. So, yes. Good mental health day. I love you. Follow your bliss and be good humans.